Hi, beautiful soul. Thank you for being here. Mostly in the moment with me, Mystic Mia Moksha, for another Love Pick a Card reading. We're looking at their feelings and actions towards you right now. We have 4 piles here. You can choose a pile based on the number, the image, or the crystal that resonates with you. I just want to say thank you so much for your feedback. I am taking it to heart. You told me to follow my heart and go deeply spiritual if that's where the reading leads. So I will take that as a divine confirmation from all you lovely souls. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I needed. Thank you. And I also hear you about the audio. I know I'm going to switch desks, and so you don't get that loud sound when I accidentally hit the table too hard. I found that solution out like a couple months ago, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to make that change. But thank you for bringing that up because I will do it sooner rather than later. I'm constantly like my battery adapter for my camera just broke, so you know it's a constant thing. Like I just ordered a new one yesterday. It's a constant thing, audio, camera, you know, the weather even, and just like the sun is in my eyes right now. The sun is literally in my eyeball. But I feel guided to do a reading right this second, and it will be divine. I cleanse the energies, protected the energies, and set the intentions. So I hope you enjoy the reading, and I wish you much love and light. Hey, pile 1111 with the Celestite. Let's see what your person is feeling about you right now. Be more selfish. They feel like you're giving in to them too much. You're being too nice, too kind, and they're like, you know, like I feel bad being so, like I feel like I'm the bad one. Like they're so nice and kind to me that I feel like I'm the one always in the wrong. I feel bad for not being as kind as them or as giving or nurturing as them. And they feel kind of bad. They're like, oh, I wish they kind of would be more selfish a little bit. Rest in reverse. Like I feel like you're never really take a rest from being nice to them to being attentive towards them, giving. I feel like you're always on top of it. If there's an issue between the two of you, you kind of figure it out. You figure out what you want to say or some action to take or something like that. Like you're kind of being too perfect sometimes, or too attentive, too on top of things, you know, go above and beyond. And it's just kind of like, it's like kind of difficult for them to like keep up, and you know, with someone that's seeming so perfect and on top of things. I feel like they feel like you're always know everything. If there's like a question, like if you don't know how they're feeling, you ask them. If there's like one thing you don't know about their schedule, you will find out. Like you're really good at like okay, like they're gonna be away this weekend. That means that they're gonna forget this shoes that they need. It's at my place or it's over here. Like let me get that for them. Like you're always like you're very well organized, or you just on top of things in terms of relationships, whatever it is. Like you kind of, it'll feel like you kind of always know what's going on, always on top of things. And that's going to cause them to kind of blow up on you soon. It's going to come out of nowhere, and you're going to just be like, where is this coming from? What did I do to deserve this? And it's because of this. And they're like energy letting you know through this reading right now, like that's what's about to come, because they feel no offense, shitty around you, because they feel like they're not doing enough, they aren't enough. Like it's just like, how do you do it? How did they feel about you like in the recent past? I can't even look at you right now. I feel like they were, and it's like kind of slowly when a card comes out in a different angle, I kind of look at it as a clock. So I look at like what degree is this message, and I'm got kind of like, it's like they started getting into this energy of like, I can't even look at you right now because I feel like you're getting on their nerves, being too perfect. How awful, right? Having an awful, like, perfect partner like you, how awful. But yeah, it is getting on their nerves a little bit. It like started not too long ago. Let's get like a time frame. When did it start? Like a week and a half ago, it started really getting, you know, more intense. Okay, this just kind of spiraled out. Protection. It's tough because like they don't know what their role is with you. Because like they don't know how to protect you. Because you're the one always protecting them. And now they're like, should I protect you from me? Should I be protecting myself from you? You know, kind of because like maybe they're not good enough for you. So maybe they should protect you from them. That's how much they care about you, first of all. Second of all, should they be protecting themselves from you? Because it seems like they're going crazy. They're about to blow up soon. Maybe they can't handle someone of your caliber. You know? And what does this look like in the near future? Is there feelings for you going to change in the near future? This is just one possibility because the future is subjective, but no. I feel like you do stand up for yourself. This red color, like I feel like you're like, no. You put your foot down and you're like, no, I am not dealing with this anymore. Like I'm getting this kind of like buck up or get out, you know, like get on the same page as me or move along. So I do feel like when they kind of have this explosion, you're like, no, I'm not having that. That's unacceptable. I have been nothing but good to you. And this is how you're going to treat me because you can't handle the fact that you feel like you can't match me or accept that I'm better at some of these things than you, or you don't want to grow, you don't want to evolve as a person to kind of figure something out between us. Like, no. I think you kind of like stand up and it freaks them out because look at how bold that no is. It kind of freaks them out. Cleanse, yeah. I think they get their head screwed on correctly because I feel like they've been kind of childish, immature, or they were allowed to be because you kind of started taking like over a lot of things in the relationship. And they were just kind of dragging their feet, not realizing how good they had it, not being grateful, not like realizing that they didn't have to be exactly like you, but they had to figure out their strengths and their connection and bring it to you and figure out what they are going to be working on for the connection because you're already on top of all of those things. So it's like, you're like, no, I don't accept this. You figure things out. Come to me when you're better. And then they go through this whole cleansing process. How a year kind of came out sideways, and that usually means to me like anytime from now up till a year. So I feel like they kind of actively work on this. Let's get, yeah, they kind of work on coming to you with an offer. So I think this was a good swift kick in the butt that they needed. It looks like it's all good. Okay, so what are some of the actions they might be taking towards you? What's an action that they might be taking towards you? Ace of Cups. Okay, yeah, so I do see that they might be coming towards you with some sort of romantic offer. And it's something that comes, like, you see this Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups that's like in reverse. I do feel like it takes like a little bit of time to kind of figure out how they're going to come towards you with this like next level of commitment or this kind of romantic love offer or something like that. So business building, project market. Yeah, I got like building. It's going to take them a second to build up to it, but they are currently thinking of a romantic love gesture. Have they been thinking about this for long? Justice card. Yeah, because something was not fair. I feel like things were unfair in the past. Like I think you were doing more effort. Public fame, popularity, outward presence. They were kind of working on maybe their relationships with other people, with work, with everything else. Maybe including this connection, but like it's kind of like they were more for some of you, I'm getting it was kind of like they were with you because you made them look good. You were kind of like arm candy or something, or you made them look responsible, or I don't know, because it was because of you that like the relationship looked good. They looked good to their, boss and coworkers and friends and everything, their family. And they weren't really doing anything to kind of reciprocate that. I don't, let's see. Yeah, they were good with you one-on-one when you two are alone, but they weren't really doing anything for like the connection's reputation, and they kind of knew like for how much you've worked on the reputation of the relationship with their friends and family and work and whatever. Like it was for a reason. It was for like this next level or something. And they knew that they weren't putting in as much or something like that. What about in the future? Are they going to take action in the near future? Okay, 4 of Wands. That's the happy marriage, happy home card, but it's in reverse. Okay, so these are both marriage cards also, the 3 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. I feel like because all 3 of these are marriage cards, they are working on some sort of next level of commitment. If you're not already married, they're literally working on getting towards marriage, or that kind of level of commitment. If you're already married, they're working on like the next step. What's next in that connection? They haven't really thought about that. Wow, but the 3 of Pentacles being the only upright one, I feel like more people need to be involved. So I feel like they realize that they don't just need to work with you, because they're good one-on-one with you, but they need to work on you with other people. So I think it's like, I don't know, groups things. So like family or friends or things like that, having some sort of group activity maybe, or something along those lines. Like I feel like they need to work on like the public reputation, outward presence of this connection, whereas you have, like, they haven't. They kind of just side project, like, yeah, doing something together that will be good for you to both to work on and also look good outwardly. I mean, not to be like looks is everything, but yeah, it does kind of matter, how you come off to people you care about, So that's something that it looks like they're going to be working on. Let's get a time frame for that. 17. Okay, so I'm getting like in a month or something, in about a month from when you watch this. Also, the weekend after, let's see, 16, 17. Okay, wow. Yeah, so you know, the 16th, the 17th of the month, the next month. 17th coming up, the 17th of next month. Whenever you're watching this, I feel like they take a move on this. Yeah. And a last message from their highest light. What is that? Their highest self. Allow this love to unfold perfectly. So I feel like they are working on something. They understand. They know they have to do this. They understand. They know. They're going to work on it too. And message from spirit, meditate. So I'm getting this like red, green, like red light, green light. Like you might be going like go stop with this connection, and it might be giving you like emotional whiplash. Spirit's just like give it space. Just go for nature walks, meditate, call on your spirit team, and just like let this happen how it's supposed to happen. Don't worry about it. All right. So I hope this message resonated. If it did, I'd really appreciate a like or comment. It really, really helps this channel. And I hope you have a beautiful, fantastic rest of your day. And I wish you much love and light. Hi, pile 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at, with the diopside, let's look at how they're feeling about you right now. I'm a very jealous person, and it came out in hand. And when a card comes out in hand, that means for me that they're keeping this very, very close to their chest. They're not telling anyone. They're trying not to make it obvious, but they are very, very jealous. Let's see. How are they feeling? Creativity. Yeah, so they are very jealous of your creative talents, whether your work is very creative, or you just have a very creative hobby, something you're very talented and skilled in. They are actually very jealous of those skills and talents that you have. How do they feel about you? They feel like they give you a lot in the physical. Okay. They feel like, okay, it might be that, I'm not calling you a manic pixie or anything, but like maybe, you know how like the creative, the musicians type, they're always very emotional, and you know, they're hot AF, but like they're always going through some sort of drama and having some sort of emotional crisis or something, and that's what makes them so creative, and their creative art's so good. I feel like this person is aware that you're kind of more of a creative type, and because of that, you kind of have like your off days or something, or there's just times where you kind of like, okay, you know, this is coming up, I'm going to be kind of, you know, working late nights, or, you know, I'm going to be, you know, whatever it is, I'm going to need some help. And they are the kind of person who will help you and be there for you. Maybe cook the meals, wash dishes, maybe, you know, message you like inspiration. They're your cheerleader. They're encouraging you. But I do feel like they're kind of jealous because they're giving their energy to you, someone who's like doing their thing. And they're just like watching it from the sidelines, helping the person who's a star, you know, kind of thing. And it's not like very severe, but I do feel like they do feel like you have very beautiful energies, and you're very gifted. But they kind of, you know, wish they were like that too. Okay, so what were they feeling about you in the recent past? How have they been feeling about you in the recent past? I'm in so much pain. So they've been going through a very difficult situation, and they may have not told you this. Recently, a crisis of consciousness I'm getting. Let's see how long ago this was. Yeah, and I think now, yeah. So this has been affecting them recently all the way up till now. And so that's why they're probably even more jealous of you, or feeling this kind of hatred. It's not like real hatred, because they, like, you know, really obviously like love you and admire you, but it's kind of like they're going through a very difficult time. And you know how, like, when you're going through a difficult time, like your friend who's doing well, you're just like evil eyeing them. It's like glaring at them like, oh, like, you know, I wish I was in your place or your shoes right now, kind of thing. It's just like, it's like that. It's a circumstance of, you know, proximity. You just happen to be close to them. and you know, when you're going through a difficult time, like a life crisis, and someone around you is doing well, and they can't tell you about it, they might take that anger out on you or hold that grudge against you. Okay. And it's not rational, but it's not meant to be, you know. Will these emotions for you change in the near future? And this is, you know, subjective. Future is allowed to change. I wonder if you care sometimes. It came out reverse and face down. They want you to care. They're like going through a difficult time, and they want you to notice, and they want you to care, and they want you to notice and care without them telling you, you know. It's kind of one of those things, like when you get mad at someone because you're in a difficult situation, but, you know, no one can assume what you're thinking and feeling. I make sure of that now. Like, I make sure people know exactly what I'm thinking and feeling, and I say it out, like, say it plainly, because I don't let anyone assume, like, I don't assume anyone knows what I'm thinking and feeling. Most people don't, you know. So they're kind of like wishing and hoping you know something is up with them without them having to say it. Okay. Success. So I do feel like success is on the horizon for them as well. Success in what? Love of a lifetime. Okay, so they do feel like they are with that perfect person. Because I do think you pick up on the fact that they are going through a hard time, and you might mention it, or you might bring it up, or you might help them with it. Or when they finally tell you, you like help them with it, and they're like, oh, that was all just in my head. I didn't actually, they actually did care. I was just kind of, you know, spiraling in my own mind. Yeah, so things are likely to turn out well. I think they just have like a lesson they learn, which is like, you know, don't keep things to yourself. Tell your partner, you know, tell the people that care about you, and, you know, they do care. It's like you just can't expect people to read your mind, you know. Not everyone's psychic, you know. And why are they so much in pain? Crisis of consciousness. Group of people, current interest or current partner. Okay, so I think it has to do, if you're already together, it has to do with you and people that are involved in your connection. If they're with someone else, then it's kind of the people involved with the person they are currently involved with. But I think for most people, it's people that are involved in people they are involved in your connection, or the lack of people involved in your connection. Maybe someone's family or someone's friend group, or or I don't know, the area that you live in, or people that you work with. It's gonna be different depending on your specific situation, but it involves a group of people, and it involves a connection or their current love interest. That's you, if you're the current love interest, or whoever they're involved with, if it's someone else. Yeah. Okay, so what are their actions? What are their actions towards you? Knight of Cups now. Okay, so I feel like you unknowingly might come to them saying the exact perfect right things that they needed to hear, filled with love, a lot of romance, maybe a little flirting, and it's exactly what they needed to hear from you. And so they're very happy about that. Something about, let's start this new adventure together, or how about we do this? Maybe it can help you out. Or how about we do this? Maybe it'll help our connection, our relationship out. So I think you come to them and without nonchalantly, I don't think you even maybe you've been thinking about it, maybe not, but it's something you just casually come to them with, and they're having this crisis of consciousness, and then there's so much success. And I feel like there was so much in their own head that they didn't realize that you were there for them, for the entire connection. You're there. So I feel like you come to them with a solution, or some sort of new project, or the next romantic adventure for the both of you, and they're just yeah, what was I worried about the whole time? Were they thinking about taking action towards you in the recent past? Knight of Swords. Yeah, they wanted to say something to you, but they just didn't. So they want to communicate this to you, and they just didn't. Let's see if there's a reason for that. Wheel of Fortune. There is a reason for that. Casual love interest. They were kind of going back and forth about whether you're right for them, because you don't even care, and they're going through such a terrible time, and how could you not know, and blah blah blah. It's all in their head though. They're being very dramatic in their own head. I feel like they're just spiraling, and are they likely to take action towards you in the near future? Are they likely to take action towards you in the near future? Yeah. Page of Wands. Yeah, they're gonna match your energy. I think they were going to clap back at you. I don't know if you heard the cards. It stopped, but a card didn't come out, and a card didn't flip over, but it just made that clap sound. So I feel like they were about to clap back at you. I think they were about to get mad at you, and then you do this, and it's so casual, and they're like, "Wait, am I being dramatic? Am I out of line? Am I the crazy one here?" It's everything fine, and I just kind of put this all in my head, oh my god, I feel like this huge weight lifted off my shoulders, a huge sigh of relief. They're kind of very I don't know, everything changes in a matter of seconds. And then now all of a sudden they're on the same page as you. The Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups, I feel like that's your energy. You're very sensitive and loving and nurturing, and they're just wait, what? What was I thinking? Where was my mind? Am I an idiot? When will this likely happen in the near future? It's not multiple cycles is the longest time frame in this deck I created. So I feel like Like forever. What's forever? Like the sense of adventure? A child, children. This inner child, because with the two, both of you being a Page of Wands, like I feel like both of you kind of decide to always be adventurous, bring out your inner child, work with each other's inner child, be nurturing, caring, and loving for each other. And I'm getting, it's going to take several cycles to kind of understand the other person's inner child, but it will get there. You're going to understand what their inner child needs in terms of nurturing, in terms of play, in terms of healing from past traumas, and vice versa. They're going to learn yours. So these things are important, because I feel like when it comes to like friction, when there's too much friction between the two of you, this is when it gets tough. Your inner child comes out, and it's giving tantrums and unhealed wounds and need for nurturing that they never got, and need for fun and play with someone safe, and understands them. So that's kind of the thing here. Okay. And lastly, a message from their higher self. I'm afraid of loving you as fully as I do. Yeah. And all of this is stemming from just fear, honestly, of falling deeper in love with you. That's why their inner child is coming out, because they might have some wounding with love from their parents or siblings, or in past connections. So there's a little bit of fear here. That's why the inner child is coming out. The inner child's afraid of loving, scared of getting hurt, kind of thing. Okay, and it's not just theirs. Yours might be a little bit there too. If you decide to be with this person, like, yeah. And a message from Spirit. Embrace this change. Yeah, so there is a change coming where the two of you, for multiple cycles, are going to be working on having fun, nurturing the other person, loving, caring, and having fun with the other person, thinking of exciting things to do with each other, and healing as you go on these adventures, it seems like a fun time. Success. Love of a lifetime. At least that's where they're coming from. Where you are, whether you want to be with this person or not, that's up to you. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, I'd really appreciate a like, or comment. It really, really helps me out on this channel. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light. Hi, Pile 711 with the Labradorite. Let's see how they're feeling about you right now. How are they feeling about you right now? Time to ground yourself. And I don't know if you saw how the card came out, but it kind of like spun around. So I feel like, is it you or them that's feeling this way? Is it you or them? It's them. So they're, I had a feeling, but like I'm pulling the cards for you, but they are kind of going a little loopy, thinking about you, feeling you, and so they kind of need to ground themselves. There's something about how they feel about you that's making them kind of feel like they're not on stable ground. Yeah, fear. Okay, so there's something big coming up that they fear, that is affecting this connection. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, I did see, like, with the Six of Swords in reverse, like, I feel like you might be stepping away. You might have given them an ultimatum, or have been contemplating leaving the connection or taking space from the connection. And maybe it's very evident that you've been thinking about this connection a lot, and they're kind of worried about what that means. Death card, yeah, ooh. Thinking about maybe possibly ending the connection. They are worried. They are very, very worried. Okay, so let's see how they've been feeling about you recently, in the recent past. How have they been feeling about you in the recent past? If I asked you to stay, would you leave? It came out in reverse, pointing this way. They've been thinking about asking you to stay with them, but without leveling up to the next level of connection. Like either staying in communication with them, being friends with them, or staying in that dating phase, or staying in just, in the place that you are now and not moving up. Maybe there's a disagreement that you both had, and it's kind of like you've hit an impasse. It's kind of like, oh, this is a big deal. Like, this is very important in the connection. We have opposite views on it. Like, this may be the deal breaker. And they've been thinking about asking you that, like, oh, can you stay? Can we stay as it is? Like how things are. But they're just kind of too scared to even ask you that. It came out face down. Caution, yeah. They're using extreme caution. They don't want to say the wrong things. They don't want to take the wrong actions. They want to keep you in their life, but they're not willing to compromise with you or go to the next level with you, whatever it is for you. How long has they been feeling this way? Very strongly in the past week or so. They can see that it's coming to a climax. They see that something is coming very soon in this connection. Like either you're going to stay or it's going to break off, or there's going to be a separation or break or something, and things are not going to be the same. So they see it coming. Are their feelings going to change in the near future? This is subjective. It can change, but what's the most likely situation as of now? I'm sorry, them apologizing. The most likely situation is that they apologize. What are they apologizing for? Happiness. Okay, so they're in a good mood. So it seems that things turn out in the way that they want. What are they apologizing for? Ace of Cups. So I feel like you offer them something in the area of romantic love. So you may give them a love offer, or an ultimatum, or a second chance, or if you guys were just friends, you could, decide to level it up. If in little note of communication, you're like, give them a choice or something, or opportunity or option. Like no more working in the realm of what ifs. I need some concrete things in the physical. This is the King of Pentacles, like a secure and stable relationship, a successful life plan, in regarding family and family planning, maybe a home location, maybe getting your work situation, business situation on lockdown, really talking through these things. Yeah. Okay, when is that likely to happen? Anytime between now and the lunar eclipse. If you're watching this when I posted it, I think the next lunar eclipse is in October, but it could be like whenever, between now and whenever the next lunar eclipse is. I want to pull more cards because, like, why are they so happy? Hospitality, guests, sharing, housekeeping. So I feel like maybe if you two are already sharing a home, you decide to, like, keep sharing a home, or if you decide, like, oh yeah, I don't want to get married now, but maybe we can move in together, like doing something Maybe you decide to stay friends, or maybe deciding to share your life together in a higher level of commitment, or whatever the argument was between the two of you. There's sharing now. It's like, okay, you both were at an impasse. They wouldn't budge, you wouldn't budge, but like somehow you found a miraculous third option. Okay. So what are their actions towards you right now, if any? What are their actions towards you right now? The Devil. Okay, so I feel like they're going to lash out at you, possibly. Yeah, Knight of Swords. They're probably gonna, they have, like, oh, well, if they're gonna play it that way, then, you know, I'm gonna say everything that's on my mind. That would be a little bit, in a rush to say everything, and they don't have very complete ideas, and they're just kind of saying things out of hurt and, out of wanting to hurt you. What is this about? Yeah, electronic social media. They might just say it over the phone, through text messages, DMs, email, maybe phone call or video chat. But I can feel like they just like they don't have the balls to even really say it to you in person. Like, they have to do it even if you're like a room away from each other, or down the street from each other, or, you know, neighboring cities or whatever. They're like, no, I gotta do it over the phone. Because I feel like they're acting a little immature. So I feel like, yeah, they're kind of just lashing out at you, and they wouldn't be able to do that in person. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to do that in person, they're saying. Okay, so did they want to take action towards you in the recent past? King of Cups. I mean, they thought about it. But they didn't. Yeah. They're like, I need to think about this more. Because they wanted, like, they're like, oh, if I asked you to stay, would you stay? They're using extreme cautions, and they're thinking about such uber romantic things to do towards you, but they're like, no, I can't do it now. I have to wait. I have to finish, I have to wait until I finish this thing, or I have to wait until I gather all the information, or I have to wait until I can buy this thing, or, so it was more like they would romanticize it in their mind, like, oh, I wish I could just take them and do this and do that for them and say this, but then they would be like too kind of nervous to say it to you in person. Are they likely to take action towards you in the near future? Eight of Cups. I think you take space from them because they come at you like with such strong words. You're just like, yeah, that changes things. Like, I'm gonna need some space. That was not cool. Seven of Wands in hand. I feel like they try to justify why they behaved the way they did. A friend, I feel like they're like, oh my goodness, did I even lose them even as a friend? Because I feel like you both were kind of like at least on friendly terms, and like they're like, oh, did I lose even that? When is that gonna happen? It's gonna happen probably before this lunar eclipse. Yeah, upcoming weekend, today even. Oh my goodness. Whenever you're watching that, today, before the weekend, or during the weekend some point. Yeah, today, the upcoming, before the weekend is most likely. Or it could be the weekend or before next weekend. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, this happens immediately. They're like, they're like kicking themselves. They're eating crow because they're just like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Because then this comes up, So at some point between soon and the next lunar eclipse, like, things change. So much so that they're happy and they apologize, and you give them a romantic offer. But there's something more stability in the connection. What happens between here and here? Death, letting go. So I think both of you kind of did need to kill this old version of the connection in order to rebirth a new one. Or you both decide to let things go, and you know that you're both better off for it. But I do think there is a sense of coming back together, you know, later in the year or something. As something. Yeah, no contact. So I feel like there's like no contact for a while. That's why they're even like, oh my god, they were friendly, and now like they're not even like they're not even talking to me. Like, what's happening? But then what is this King of Pentacles? What happens in the near future? Community, exercise, physical body movements. I think it's just like, I don't know, like I think you get into a good place. Yeah, so I feel like you get into a good place, or they get into a good place. Both of you get into a good place, you know, with everything, work, your health, your relationships, like friendships and family, like other relationships, not romantic. And there's like, I don't know, depending on your situation, there's like we're cool, right? We're friends, like it's good. And there's maybe an offer to be like, to stay friends or to be like on good terms. And for some of you, it's going to be that there's the opportunity to start this connection again in a healthier way. Wow. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, I really appreciate a like or comment. It really helps out the channel. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light. Hey, pile 1616 with the Amethyst. Let's see how your person is feeling about you right now. Okay, it came out right away. Please give me time. I've never felt this way before, and it came out in hand, like even hidden behind the cards. So I feel like they are really trying to hide this. Really, really don't want anyone to like tell you. I feel like they're head over heels over like for you. And they're just hoping that no one lets the secret out. I feel like they haven't told anyone, but some of their good friends or people, their coworkers or someone, people that like know them really well, family maybe, like know that something's up. And they can see that like they're like smiling and, you know, are daydreaming, had their head in the clouds sometimes, like drifting off in a different world, imagining you, and just kind of like in La La Land. They're like, you know, it's so easy to see that they're smitten with someone, and like people who know them really well would be able to tell, and they're just like, I hope no one can tell, and I hope they especially don't tell you about it. That's very cute. Okay, so they're feeling a lot. Confidence, comfort, and faith. Okay, wow. So I feel like they're very happy to have found you, to know you. Whether I feel like for most people it's like someone you like just met or will meet soon, or someone has a crush on you that you don't even know about, or someone who doesn't let on. how much they like you. And maybe if it's someone you have been dating or known for a long time or been with for a long time, it's just like you still give them that confidence. They still get that feeling when you walk into the room and such. Yeah, but there's a lot of comfort and faith here. So yeah, confidence, comfort, and faith. For some reason, this person, it comes off like they just met you and they have like all the butterflies in their stomach, but it feels like with the confidence, comfort, and faith that they've been with you for a long time. So they might have known you for a long time. They might have had a crush on you for a long time, or they just feel like a giddy young teenager with puppy love with you since the beginning. And that is, wow. That is so cute. Okay, yeah, let's see. Let's get more about how they feel about you right now. Page of Cups, yeah, like that young, giddy, young in love feeling. But it feels like you've been together for a long time. I can't tell which one it is. It's like Knight of Wands. Like, they feel so confident that they can just like riff with you. They can just say whatever, and they don't, they feel comfortable with you. They feel, they're at their best. They feel so confident. They can say things to you. They can act stupid and not care and not get embarrassed. It's just it's very sweet. Very cute. So how have they been feeling about you recently? How have they been feeling about you recently? All these cards are coming out like very quickly. Yeah, that would, for me, means like they're very confident in how they feel about you. You make my heart full, and I'm obsessed with your body. They are very like in love with you, infatuated, head over heels, desire you, find you very sexual, but also love you. You complete them. This is like genuine, true love. It's very cute. Very beautiful. Let's see. How long ago was that they're feeling that way about you? 20. So I'm getting for some of you for 20 years. For others, I'm getting since 2020. 20 months, 20 days, 20 weeks, depending on your situation. And 10, 15, 20, it's giving you the feeling of like it's going up in increments of 5. So I'm getting that like every time you guys come together, there's a massive positive change in the connection. I feel like both of you make frequent positive changes in your connection. You move up very quickly, very profoundly. This is like something else. I kind of knew, because 1616 is a very strong reunion, soulmate, harmony number. Okay, how are they most likely to feel in the future for you? The future is subjective, and feelings are even more so. So, this love scares me came out in reverse. So I do feel like it scares them, but they don't mind. They're just worried that it might scare you. It scares them because you guys move so quickly and so positively. It's like, is there like a turning point? Anger in reverse. I feel like there's nothing you can do to anger them. They're just like, they're just floating on cloud 9 here. Yeah, things just go like very swimmingly between two of you. 9 of Swords in reverse. They do worry a lot that they don't want to do anything to scare you off. They're worried about, like, because I feel like you two rarely get into really bad disagreements, or maybe you haven't had a fight yet. They're really worried about doing anything to cause a fight in a connection. Or maybe yeah, both of you haven't fought for a very long time, or, you know, been in a good place for a very long time, or have, you know, very good with conflict, and they're just like worried that like because things move along so quickly that it might scare you. Personal passion project. Okay, I got it. I feel like the two of you are working on something that you're both very passionate about, and with that passion, you know, comes a lot of other emotions like anger and, you know, like, you know, I wanted the business to go this way, like, you know, a little bit of worry, because I feel like because you both make such big steps in the connection, you might have something like a business together, or, you know, decide to take on a lot of projects, home renovations, a lot of kids, or something like that, something along those lines. And they're worried that like because you two work so closely together on a lot of things, that it might cause a rift, a conflict that inevitably causes a rift in the connection. So they worry about that sometimes. Yeah, everything's kind of minor. Everything's kind of, you know, moving forward positively so quickly and so divinely. Even if you two kind of separated and came together, it's kind of like there's a lot of comfort here, a lot of confidence that this is going to work out. And it probably has been for a lot of you, and continue to. Is there an action that they're going to be taking in this connection now? Ten of Swords. Oh, Two of Swords. Wow, I read it as Ten of Swords. They don't know where you want to take this connection next. And so they're kind of confused about what action to take or not to take. I feel like they're kind of in this like state of limbo where they like want to, but they don't know what you want. It's so funny because I feel like the two of you get so much done in the physical and even in your relationship, but I'm seeing a gap here. Things were moving along pretty quickly. Things are good now. There's a lot of young love feelings, no matter if you've been together for a long time or not. Seems like you have big projects coming up. So there is a connection of moving quickly and then working on something bigger than yourselves. And right now it's kind of like unsure. Both of you are unsure individually and also don't know what to tell the other person yet either. Let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Yeah, see how that took a long time? Something about it being hazardous to live close to each other or with each other, because of how uncertain the next step is for the both of you. Both of you are unsure, and you don't really know what to tell the other person yet. So is it a good idea to continue living together? Is it a good idea to continue with the plans to move in together? Is it a good idea to live so close by each other where you can see each other? Is it a good idea to continue with the plans to move closer to each one another? So I've seen that kind of that thing where, you know, either you live together or you live close by, or you had plans to kind of move in together or move closer to each other, and it's kind of like, is that a good idea when neither of us know what the next step is? All right, so what was their action, or if they're thinking of one, in the recent past towards you? Knight of Pentacles. They are planning to offer you something long term. In the recent past, yeah, they were looking into the future, and they were planning to offer you something long term. What is this that they're thinking about offering? Physical looks, and I put next to I'm obsessed with your body. Moving, changing. Yeah, so I feel like I feel like they were thinking about moving closer to you, moving to a different location together, having you move in with them, or moving closer with them, or starting the conversation, or you guys already made plans, or you guys already live together. Something about that. They had plans for that. They might have told you, they might have not told you. What were they planning to do with this information? Yeah, commit to you in this way by moving in with each other, or moving to a different location together, or something. This was going to be their show of commitment to you. Are they thinking about taking action towards you in the near future? King of Pentacles, and it came out in hand. Yeah, they're going to go through with their plan. They're going to go through with their plans of commitment. Even if they don't know if you would say yes, is what I'm getting. Even if they don't know if you would say yes. What is this? 2. I feel like they've been kind of keeping this a secret for a while, that they were going to plan to do this, because I think they had a plan to do it before. And then things changed for the positive. What changed? What changed? Things were going very well between the two of you privately. So I keep getting this privately, being close, in close proximity to each other, living with each other. And something about getting through difficult times. 2020 came up, so maybe it doesn't have to be during COVID, but maybe you two kind of had a situation where you were kind of tested. Maybe you're in a situation where one person moved and they didn't have any friends around the area, and so it's like, oh, can you get through this situation when neither of you have friends in that location, or one of you doesn't have friends in the location? Or maybe figuring out a work situation, a money situation, or a family situation. But like something about like you both kind of made it successfully through this kind of test, this kind of like 2020 COVID situation. It doesn't have to be COVID again. It could be something in the past. It could be something recently, where both of you kind of passed the test or something. And there was a lot of like you two having to like, it was just the two of you. It was just the two of you. You two had to get through it by yourselves or something. And then also this emergency kind of came up face down. Yeah. What is this emergency? Wealth. I believe there might be an opportunity that neither of you kind of see coming that requires immediate action and a lot of responsibility on both of your parts. It's kind of like maybe you get gifted something, or you have an opportunity for like a home or a different location or a job or something like that, and you had to take action on it very quickly. And the two of you do step up to the plate, the challenge, the opportunity. Food, gardening, farming, collecting, growing. Yeah, I do feel like it's like something that you kind of have to grow. So it might be a business opportunity. Maybe it's like you get gifted a home, but it requires a lot of repair, or a home at a good price, but it's like very damaged, or a job in a certain location and you get to have to move, and it's like you had to find a last minute place to stay, something like that. But there's like a lot of potential there. It's a place where you can make it into a home, or it's a place where you can grow a family, or it's a place where you can make it your own lifestyle or something like that. Pull one last card. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like, oh, you have to leave. So there's some sort of money situation involved. Physical circumstances. Yeah, moving, changing, wealth, leaving home, growing somewhere else, passion project. Kind of all goes together if you can feel the vibe. All right, I'm going to pull a couple more cards. A message from their higher self to you. Yeah, a message from their higher self to you right now. My heart is guarded at the moment. So I think that's what... I think that was what the deal was. They wanted to offer you something they may have, but they might have been like, oh, well, give me time, or I'm working up to this. They're working on opening up their heart more. And it works. It looks like for most people, this kind of works out for the best. It's actually beneficial that they didn't go into it right away and they waited a little bit. The message... Wait, let me check time frame. When were they about to give this opportunity, or give an opportunity that wasn't like... Depends on what days. It kind of depended on their work situation, their family situation, or something like that. And when will this opportunity come through? 26 full moon. So it could be July full moon, or the full moon next month, February or June full moon. I'm getting whichever one's the soonest. Yeah, noon, afternoon. I do feel like it's more June, July. Whenever you're watching this, like June, July, before the end of the month, or around the full moon. Okay, and a message from Spirit for you in this connection. Nurture your creative energy. Yeah, because I feel like there's this energy of both of you really diving deep into a personal passion project together, whether that's creating a family, working on your home, working on a business, or anything, working on music together, art together. Could be very collaborative or just very similar. One person likes sculpture, the other person likes painting, whatever. I feel like both of you kind of like invest in something for yourselves. Looks very good. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did resonate with it, I really appreciate a like or comment. It really helps me on this channel, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light.